Good morning, guys. I hope everyone had a good day yesterday. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, starting today. Just start off, just encouraging everyone to make sure our Zoom meeting, 10 o'clock this morning, I'm going to be going over our social studies, our new social studies assignment that's due on Friday. This is kind of like a thing that's going to be on maps and why maps are important. And then I'm going to go over the assignment that you need to do with regards to drawing a map that I attached to your paper. Like I said, every morning I'm going to be going over some with a different grade or a new subject in the morning Zoom class at 10 a.m. And but even if you want to jump on, ask me a question, I'll be free to answer any questions that you might have on homework. Also, I know I forgot to attach the language assignment for third and fourth graders. I saw your emails this morning, so I will be resending that later on here after I get done with this video. So I apologize for that. Sometimes I found the assignment and then I just copied it and I totally forgot to send it. So I apologize for the confusion there. For spelling today, you should be finishing your third page of Unit 28. All the words are up on the Spelling City, so you can go on there and work on that. We will be taking the test on Friday for spelling, and it's your typical spelling where you have to find the corrections for most of those. And first graders, you're going to be writing some sentences and whatnot. Kindergarten, for your math today, you're going to be looking at graphs. You're going to graphs of animals. You got to count up how many animals there are and write them on the line right here at the end. Okay, and then color which row has the most animals red, and the one that has the fewest, the smallest, color it green. So do that very carefully for me, please. And then on the back side, you're going to be doing a dot to dot. Probably can already tell what that shape is by just looking at the picture, but follow the numbers, color the picture after you're all done. And then I also sent you home a link for another worksheet that you can work on with regards to math. Tomorrow I'll be sending home a bunch of your other Super Kid stuff that we went through yesterday. So I'll be texting your mom a picture of all those things so that way you have those and you'll be working on that again tomorrow as we finish up the letter R. All right. First graders, for your math today, you have your written assessment. This is the review assignment. So the first page is just fact assessment. You're just going to be going over a bunch of adding problems, not too hard. Then on your other assessment, the guided class assessment, top part, you write in the number 95. You write it 4 more times. And then for number 2, you got to, it says, Dad made a dozen muffins. How much are in a dozen? A dozen is 12. Yeah, 12. And it says his family ate 10 of the muffins. So you have to draw me 12 muffins. And if they ate them, do we have to cross them off or do we have to draw 10 more? Well, if they're going in their bellies, of course, they have to cross them off, right? So let's 12 minus 10 will be your number sentence. And then write how many muffins are left over on the blank. Number 3, you're dealing with the 10 sticks and 1 cubes. Tell me how many 10 sticks there are. Write that number first, and then behind it, write how many 2 cubes there are, or 1 cubes there are. And that will give you your number. Number 4, it says count by 10s. It starts with the number 4. We're going to switch our number. Let's start with the number 5. If we did 5 plus 10, we had 15. So we got 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55. So it's with 4, you put a 1 in front of it. 14, 24, 34, 44, and write those numbers in order there, okay? Number 5 is just a bunch of adding problems. Some of them are adding up by 10. And then number 6, it says, what do you think it is from, let's say, the floor to the doorknob of your front door? Okay, so you're going to have to tell me about how many feet is it? So how many rulers does it take to get from the floor up to your doorknob of your house? Okay, so you have to get a ruler out there and measure that and see how many rulers it takes about. Okay, all right. Second graders and Rodney, you guys are going to be doing a bunch of subtracting by 7s and 8s on our fact assessment today. Then let's take a look at your written practice. On number 1, it says Mary bought a package of candy. Ooh, I love candy. There are 10 candies in a package. How many candies are there? Oh, sorry, I missed it. She bought 6 packages. Ooh, you get to make a multiplying problem. So if there's 10 pieces of candy and each So 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. We could go 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. We could do that. But there's an easier way to do that. 6 times 10. So that would be your number sentence. 6 times 10 equals, and then you can always write on that the answer there. Then what's 6 plus 6, or 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 6 times, okay? Number 2, draw the 113 using those 100 cubes, 10 sticks, and 1 little cubes. Draw those out, and then write it in expanded form. Remember, that would be like 300 plus 20 plus 1 would be 321. We've done that a couple times. And then circle which number there shows us 113. Number 3, what we did yesterday, color the cone yellow, the pyramid blue, and the rectangular prism, color that one red. Ooh, man, number 4, 10 quarters. Remember how many quarters make $1? There's 4. So if we have 10, we got 4 and 4. That's how many dollars? $2. That leaves us 2 quarters left over. Do you remember how much quarters are left? Or how much is 2 quarters? 50 cents. So remember, when we write that, you write it like this. You write the dollar first, and then you write the 50 cents later. So you have $2.50. Okay? So be careful there, and draw those quarters first, and then tell me how much money that is. How long is a new pencil? I have a pen here, or marker, but tell me how long a new pencil is, which one's the best estimate. Then number 6, you're going to be doing another more multiplying there. Multiply by 100. So if we had 100 times 5, 500. If you had 100 times 7, 700. If you multiply something by 1, if I said 35 times 1, it's always the other answer, the other number than 1, 35. So 35 times 1 is 35. If I had 6 times 1 is 6. If I had 10 times 1, it's 10. All right? And then we've done the tens already before. Then you have a bunch of other subtracting there and adding problems. Both subtracting problems at the bottom, you're going to have to do some borrowing. On the backside, just again, same thing on the top part. You're going to have to make a multiplying problem, so be careful with that. Number 5, you have to tell me about how long is a new crayon. That's a little shorter than that. Number 4, you says you have 8 quarters. Okay, we just talked about that, so shouldn't be too hard. And you're going to be working with the number. I just lost it. 324 for number 2. So be careful there on that. All right. So if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Feel free to get in touch with me. For your language today, second graders, on the first part, you're going to be looking at the word I and me. Now, we always use the word I or me if you're talking about more than one person. So if I said Mrs. Holman and I went to the store, you always write yourself second. It's like trying to use your manners. If you walk through the door, it's always polite to let someone else go first. So you always talk about yourself second when you write. But if you're just talking about yourself, you use the word I if you're talking about yourself as the subject of the sentence. I went to the movies. I ate dinner. But if you're in the predicate towards the end of the sentence usually, then you use the word me. Mrs. Holman made me dinner. That subject of the sentence is Mrs. Holman. That's the naming part. What did she do? She made me dinner. So usually if it's at the telling part of the sentence, you use the word me. If it's at the beginning or the subject of the sentence or the naming part, then you use the word I. So what you have to do is read the sentence or rewrite the sentence and either put I or me in those. So like number 1, my family and blank went to the ocean last summer. Is that in the naming or in the telling part? My family and... It's in the naming part. That's who the sentence is about. So it's my family and I. So you write the word I in the blank there. Okay? Then on page 175, you're going to be looking for words that sound alike but are spelled differently. Like they give you one in the example sentence. I can hear the ocean in here. See the 2 words at the top? They're in blue. They both sound alike, hear but they're spelled different. One talks about hearing, like with your ears, and then one's like, come over here, come right here to a location. You have to find each set of words that sound alike but are spelled different and write them on your paper for 1 through 6 on page 175. The big word for this is called a homophone. Homophone. So you got to be careful with that and make sure you do that right. Okay? All right. You guys are got that to work on today. All right, third graders, this is a new concept today. It's going to be a little tricky of a concept. You're going to be taking a problem that looks like this for math today. A 3-digit number multiplied by a 1-digit number. So I have 300 times 6. Now, an easy way to do this today is this. You go against everything that I've taught you before. You take 3 times 6. That gives us 18, so we write that at the front. And then how many zeros are there? 2, so I put those behind there. So your answer is 1,800. So once if I did this, 7 times 400. 7 times 400. Now the easiest way to do this is 7 times 4. What's 7 times 4? That's 28. How many zeros are there? 1, 2. So I put 2 zeros behind it. So your answer is 2,800. Let's try one more. I'm going to do it up here in this space up here. This is where it might get a little tricky. Actually, I'm going to do one more and then we'll try another one. 8 times 300. So I take 8 times 3, which is 24. And then how many zeros do I need to put? 2 zeros. So your answer is 2,400. Now, that's not the only part that you're going to be working on, though, today. Because if you look at the back, you also are going to be doing a problem that looks like this. 340 times 6. Okay, 340 times 6. Well, you got to write this one up and down. Horizontal or not. You can't do this horizontally. You got to do it vertically. Okay, and now you have to do it in the correct order. You go 6 times 0. What's 6 times 0? That is 0. Then I do 6 times 4. 6 times 4. All right, so what's 6 times 4? Ooh, that's 24. Now, how do I write 24? Well, let's take a look here. You put down here, you put the back number, 4, and where do you think the 2 goes? Up above the next number, 3. Okay? And then what number haven't I multiplied yet? I have to do 6 times 3. What's 6 times 3? That's 18. Plus 2 more, 18, 19, 20. So I put a 2, 0, and I put my comma, so your answer is 2,040. All right? One more I'm going to do with you, and then I may try to go over this a little bit this morning on our Zoom meeting. I have 750 times 4. So I have 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. So I put a 0 here because that's the back number. The 2 goes here. And then 7 times 4 is 28. 29, 30. Oh man, look at that. Big number, 3,000. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna try to go over that a little bit this morning with our Zoom meeting, if we can. Otherwise, your assignment today shouldn't be too hard. I don't see anything there that's going to be too difficult. You have a couple of those problems. I think you have 1, 2, 3 problems that deal with like that. So just be careful with those. And like I said, I'm gonna try to go over that again after we're done with our social studies today on our Zoom meeting. Okay. For your language or for your reading class today on page 107, you're going to be just filling in the blanks from the story that we worked on that you read yesterday. You may have to write one word, you might have to write a whole phrase, so be careful there. Then you have to read the story on page 108, and you got to answer the questions on page 109. This says predict the outcome. Predict means to guess take an educated guess. That means a smart guess. So like the first question says, what if Ando's parents had not died when he was young? Okay, what do you think? What might have happened if his parents hadn't have died? So you take your guess, you predict the outcome, and then where it says reasons, you tell me why you guessed that way. Okay, so you got 3 guesses that you have to tell me, but you have to tell me in the reason part why you guessed that way. You can't just say because. Okay, so those are just those 3 pages for that. Like I said, for 3rd and 4th graders, I will get that language page out to you. I again apologize that actually I'm getting parents texting me as I'm making this video. I will get that to you here as soon as I get done. I apologize for not getting that out. 4th graders, for your math today, not too hard. You got lesson 82. If you have questions, ask Mr. Wasser and whatnot. Leah and Javon, today you're going to be taking a look at just the 2 pages. And Dylan, VCCV words. Vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. Now you have a bunch of words there. They're all 2 syllables. Remember, syllables are like baseball, 2 syllables. Javon, Dylan, Leah. Your names are all 2 syllables, okay? So they all are 2 syllables, and you have to figure out where they split. So if I look at the first word in the box, spelling word, it says garden. Garden. Kind of split it right between the R and the D. Now, R and the D, what are those, vowels or consonants? Those are consonants, right? So if it splits right between the 2 C's, well, look at where it says you have 3 choices of where to put those words. The VC, CV, the lines split right between the 2 C's. The V and the C, so it splits between the first vowel and a consonant, or between the consonant and the last vowel. Well, garden splits right between the 2 C's, so we put it in the VC blank CV or line. Okay, let's try yellow. Yellow. Oh, that looks like, usually if there's 2 letters, I'll give you this clue. If there's the 2 matching letters like LL, usually they split right between those. I'll give you that as a clue. So that would be right between the 2 L's. How about rather, or rather? That's between the H and the E. Rather. The comes at the end. So that's between a consonant and an E, which is a vowel. So that goes where it says VCC blank vowel. So that goes at the bottom part there. All right? So make sure you say those syllables out loud, put them in the right space. Then on the back page, page 92, you need to do the crossword puzzle at the top. And at the bottom, it's dealing with ABC order. Remember, sometimes you got to look at the second letter of those. So like kitchen and nail, what? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. So you have to find a word that either starts with an L or an M or even an N that goes in that blank for number 8. All right? All right, I don't think that should be too difficult. Again, if you have questions, though, feel free to get in contact with me, especially with the vowel consonant thing. That might be a little tricky for you today. I hope everyone can join me for a Zoom meeting this morning. Like I said, I'm going to go over our social studies assignment about maps, and I'm also going to try to help out some 3rd graders here with regards to that multiplying, because that's a newer concept and it's a little bit more tricky. So I hope everyone has a great day today, and I'll be around today, so if you have questions, feel free to get in contact with me. I do have to run to the grocery store and the like. Just a heads up, tomorrow I will not be on Zoom except for in the morning. In the evening, it's Mrs. Holman's birthday tomorrow, so we are going to be celebrating as a family with her. We're going to have a special dinner that we're making her. So please, we won't be doing a Zoom meeting in the evening. But we will still do it one in the morning, and so that way I can answer any questions that anyone might have. All right? Have a great day today, and I'll hopefully see a bunch of you this morning here very shortly. Bye.